New year, new updates. In fact, today I'm not only presenting you the Google Workspace updates from January, but also those from December due to the holidays in between. So sit back and let's take a look together at what's been happening with Google Workspace over the last 2 months.
Mark important messages in Google Chat. In the last update video, I already introduced you the new filters in Google Chat, meaning the new home overview and the overview of all messages in which you have been mentioned. Now there's also the option to mark messages, regardless of the chat or space, and then see them in an overview. Redesigned search in the chat. The search in Google Chat was improved a few months ago and now offers various tabs to refine the search query and better results. Google has now also made the display of results a little clearer. The details of the chat messages most relevant to the search are displayed. If you want to see the complete message, you can click on Show More. Improved search suggestions. Something has also changed when entering search terms in the chat. Google now suggests suitable terms, people or chat rooms similar to the general Google search, depending on what you type in. Mute chats. You can now mute direct messages and spaces to be less distracted at work. Muted chats will not send you push notifications, will not be displayed under Home, and will be displayed at the bottom of the sidebar. However, if someone mentions you, the notification badge will still be displayed. Improved creation of spaces. Over the next few days, the view when creating a new group space will change. Google is making the creation process a little easier to understand by offering the options Collaboration and Announcements. Collaboration for group spaces where any member can chat, an announcement for group spaces where only space managers can post updates. To avoid confusion, in the future you will no longer be able to create group spaces that have the same name as an existing space. This means that if there is already a space with the same name as the one you are about to create, you will receive an error message. Furthermore, there's a new welcome view after creating a new space, which simply suggests functions such as adding members or add-ons to the space. Improvement of the Meet live streaming. Meeting hosts can now also start a live stream from a normal Meet, even if the Meet was not initially created as live stream. Meet participants can also switch to the live stream view via a new button, and the viewers of the live stream can now see how many people are watching. Furthermore, you can now also watch live streams via the Google Meet mobile apps. Participate in Google Meets on mobile without a Google account. This has been possible for some time in the web version, but now you can also take part in a Google Meet via the mobile apps without having to be logged into a Google account. All you have to do is be invited to a calendar appointment for the meeting or know the meeting code and you're ready to go. Subtitles in additional languages. Google is once again expanding the languages for subtitles in Google Meet. Among others, Armenian, Georgian, Hungarian, Norwegian, Slovenian and Zulu. Share Google Drive files and documents with meeting participants. Documents are often created in or for meetings, or other files such as photos or videos are discussed. To ensure that everyone has access to these files, you can also search for meetings in the Share dialog. If you select a meeting, all participants are automatically added. You can also add the files as attachments to the Google Calendar appointment. Time-saving and practical. Filter by persons or groups. You can share documents and files in Drive with individuals or entire groups. What's new is that you can now also filter them. This gives you a better overview of who has access to what. New Start page in Google Drive. Until now, you always ended up in My Drive by default when you opened Drive. Google has now introduced a new Start page that shows you suggestions for files and folders that you use frequently. These can also come from shared folders, by the way, as well as suitable filters and a search slot. However, if you still want to land directly in your My Drive, you can specify this in the settings. Share a link at a specific time in Drive videos. Especially in long videos such as meeting recordings, it can be helpful to send others a link to the exact point that is important to them. Google has now added a new menu item for this in the video sharing dialog in Drive. All you have to do is fast forward the video to the desired point in time and then select copy link to this time and send the link to your colleagues in a chat or email, for example. Share button in Docs, Sheets, Slides and Drawings gets a new dropdown. The Share button now also contains a dropdown with further actions, such as a button to copy a link, pending sharing requests, and information on who the document is currently shared with. Solve calculations with Smart Compose. You can now easily solve calculations in documents by entering the calculation method and ending with an equal sign. Google will then show you the result and you can accept it by pressing the Tab key. This currently works in Google Docs, Slides, Sheets and Drawings. Placeholder chips in Google Docs. Thanks to the custom building blocks and variable chips, it is now very easy to create template documents in Docs, which can then be filled out quickly. The new placeholder chips for date, persons, file, appointment and location can also be used here. These can then be used simply with a click. Easy access to smart chips and building blocks. Google is currently testing another way for you to quickly access smart elements such as mentions of people, smart chips and building blocks. If you click on a new line, an @ sign will appear next to your cursor, which you can click on to open a menu where you can insert the elements. This function is not yet visible for everyone as it is still being tested for performance. Record the pronunciation of your name. You may already be familiar with this option from social networks, such as LinkedIn. You can now also record your own name in your Google account, so that your colleagues and external parties know how to pronounce your name correctly. A play button will then appear in your profile, for example in Google Chat or in Google Contacts, which others can use to listen to your recording. A short preview: record your presentation in Google Slides. During February, a new feature will appear in Google Slides that allows you to record yourself presenting and then share the recording. This can be helpful for training courses, webinars, project presentations or updates, for example. Tip of the month: attach an email to another email in Gmail.
Do you want to share an email with someone else who's not part of the email communication? Or perhaps you want to send a whole series of emails to another person for induction? That's no problem at all with Gmail. In addition to normal email forwarding, you can also send emails as attachments.
To do this, first open a new email window in Gmail. Then search for the email you want to attach. You can now drag and drop it onto your new email. The email will then be attached as an .eml file. EML files open in a new window when you click on them in Gmail. You can also select several emails and then add them as attachments using the 3-dot menu or by right-clicking. It's that easy.